Well, good evening, Tallahassee. I'm city meteorologist Michael on it, and we do have a pretty cloudy, gloomy day out there, and a lot of rain on the camera lens here at the FSU weather stem overlooking Doak Campbell Stadium. You can see we have a lot of rain associated with this stationary boundary still to the north of us and approaching cold front. That's been bringing some shower and thunderstorm activity for the entire afternoon here in the Tallahassee area. That's again due to the stalled out boundary still situated over the southern sections of the Gulf Coast states. And then we also have this approaching frontal system, which is really going to change our weather as we go into the later half of the work week. But for tonight's forecast, temperatures are going to be around 71 degrees with that heavy rain possible overnight and those chances of thunderstorms anytime throughout the overnight hours. And for your headlines for tonight, those heavy rains and thunderstorms are going to be expected on Wednesday as that cold front moves through. But cooler air is on the way as well as some sunny skies. So FSU weather starts right now.
Good evening, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Sloan Haynes.
And I'm a student meteorologist, Hayden Wilder.
Here with your rainy Tuesday edition of FSU weather. I don't think I said that yet, being a producer on the show, us having rain during the show.
No, when I was doing my practice tapes, we had no rain in the show at all. It's been just sun icons all the way.
And this rain, as Michael just said, is going to linger into tomorrow. So having an umbrella might be handy. If we take a look at our Friday producer, Tyler, he got caught in the rain coming home from class earlier today. Forgot his umbrella. He had his rain jacket on him. But see, even we get stuck in the rain here at FSU weather.
I don't know. I expected better from him. I know I brought my umbrella. I guess we can't all be perfect, not even us meteorology students.
You're definitely the prepared student, or the prepared roommate, rather.
Oh, yeah, I would follow weather every day.
But those umbrellas are a must into tomorrow. And then opening us up on Thursday is some drier weather in our forecast. And there's that picture of Tyler. He was not very lucky on his rain home. You can join him at Blaze Pizza Night because the American Meteorological Society is having a share at night there until 8 o'clock this evening. So go out and support us here at Florida State. But that rain lingering again, high rain chances tomorrow, and even in the evening hours, we can't rule out a thunderstorm tonight. And then for Thursday and Friday, some clear weather in the forecast, which I think we'll need after this.
Yeah, similar to last night, you can expect some rain into the evening, so just be aware of that, students.
And make sure if you're driving around, have your headlights on and your wipers, since you really need that to see since visibility has been so low. But now I'm going to take it over to the wall, take a look at the southeast of the United States. Temperature-wise, we see that there is rain in the forecast for much of the southeast where that stationary front has been. And then some cooler temperatures right now, too. It's different than what we saw last week. We're still very warm, still in the 90s for portions of the southeast, 70 in Montgomery, 86 in New Orleans, 73 in Shreveport. Taking a look home for Tallahassee, 73 degrees. I know we all got stuck in that rain earlier today and expect that again into the evening. Jacksonville, 77, but look at that sunshine down there in Central and South Florida. Very nice outside, maybe even a perfect beach night. Take a walk on the beach down there. For us, so these dew points are high too. 73 in New Orleans, 66 in Jackson, 63 in Atlanta, 67 in Charleston. We see where we're drying out around the nation, which is typical for those northern states as they're getting into their fall season. The leaves are falling, but we are not seeing that here in the Big Bend right now. Heat index pretty true to our temperature up New Orleans, feeling like 93. So it's still pretty warm outside. Still a good idea to keep your eye on the temperatures as we go throughout the week as we start to cool down a bit more. Here's the biggest story for us right now, these storms that we've been talking about. We have heavy rainfall in them, thunderstorms in them, lightning. So make sure when you hear thunder, you go indoors, as we always say here on FSU Weather. And taking a look for your next 48 hours, we see the front begin to move through the southeast. Portions of the southeast starting to clear out, including Jackson, Little Rock, Tupelo, and they're going to start to see sun by tomorrow afternoon. And then we're going to see some cloud cover in the New Orleans area tomorrow. But as we go towards us here in Florida, we see these rain chances pick back up. And then the northern eastern states are going to have higher rain chances towards the end of the week too. Looking at Wednesday night into Thursday, we're really going to clear out as dry air and high pressure begins to dominate the system here in the southeast. Temperature-wise for tonight, there's really not a clear sky in sight. There's either some form of cloud cover or precipitation. Thunderstorms are in the forecast for much of the region, Shreveport, us here in Tallahassee. Again, a thunderstorm cannot be ruled out throughout the overnight hours and even early tomorrow morning. Cooler temperatures that we see Little Rock at 48, Tupelo at 56, Shreveport at 57, and Florida and New Orleans, we're still in the 70s, still feeling a bit warmer. And then for tomorrow's highs, not a clear sky in Florida with those thunderstorms as the front begins to move through the state, but we're going to start to see the sun peak out in the western portion of the region. And then for North Carolina this Saturday for our game against Wake Forest, which starts at 7:30, 65 degrees, a clear, cool night. That's going to be right around sunset for them. But for now, I'm going to pass things off to Dylan to take a look at Tallahassee.
Well, before we get to that, I'd forecast a win for FSU against that game, so hopefully we pull that out. Getting into our local area, though, well, we have that clouds and front sticking around in our area, a big blanket of rain engulfing most of the southeast, as Sloan just talked about. You do have that stationary front kind of hidden behind the rainfall on this map, and as we zoom in, you see all this rain, some even intense storms kind of firing up. A lot of lightning associated with storms kind of south of Apalachicola and St. James Bay. So again, a lot of rain associated with this and some intense thunderstorms. We even have a severe thunderstorm watch over back to my west outside of Florida into Mississippi. But these are some storms you want to be careful with into tonight because it is dark. In for most of our area, we're kind of cool right now. 73 is mildly misleading because it's not a comfortable cool, it's a rain-cooled cool. So it's kind of muggy outside as well as we look at our dew points, 71. So we're really close to our temperature, in fact. So the closer our dew point is to our temperature, the more muggy, more humid it feels outside. So it's feeling kind of gross for us here in Tallahassee and places in Perry, Apalachicola, seeing even higher dew points and lower temperatures as well. So it's, again, not the best conditions, and our heat index kind of reflects that as well, where it's making it feel even grosser outside. 81 in Perry, 73 here in Tallahassee, down on the coast, 78 in Apalachicola, over in Bainbridge, 79 as well. So making it feel just a little more uncomfortable. As we go into tonight, those showers and thunderstorms will kind of die down just a bit, but we're not out of the clear just yet as some storms come through our area into tomorrow afternoon and evening. But after that, folks, that's when we get the clear, comfortable air as these clouds start to move out of our area, seeing better conditions. But tonight, seeing 71 degrees as our low as you wake up in the morning. So not much of a change from now because we won't get that cooling because that blanket of clouds will be on top of us, keeping us just a bit warm. But those rain chances are continuing through tonight, and the sunset was at 7:06, but I hope you probably won't be able to see that with all the clouds. Tomorrow, continuing rain. Want to have that rain jacket, want to have the umbrella, just in case if you're walking to class with a spotty shower or two. But heavy rain is likely, just like today, much of a repeat of today. But after that, as we get into the 7-day, you have some comfortable conditions. Look at our highs. Get down to 76 as our high on Thursday, 74 on Friday, and our lows 50 degrees. This is the coldest we'll be in a long time, folks. So look forward to these comfortable conditions. But after we move through those comfortable conditions, well, we rebound right back into a bit of heat and a bit of rain as we get into Saturday and Sunday, even into next work week on Monday and Tuesday. But now send it over to the desk where Michael and I will talk about the tropical disturbance that's kind of moving out of into the Bay of Campeche by Mexico and the Yucatan Peninsula, right, Michael?
Yeah, you see by our 7-day forecast why we have rain chances this weekend and going into next week. It's actually partly due to this system that we're tracking right now in the Yucatan.
Yeah, as of 2 p.m. today, it has a 10% chance of formation in 2 days because it's over land, so you're not going to see that. But as it moves over into water, it's a 40% chance of formation in 5 days. Looking a little better for that, but despite that, increased rainfall.
Yeah, it is going into a little bit of a more favorable environment with the Gulf of Mexico being warm, but there's still a little bit of that upper level shear, which will kind of help the system to not really organize, but still the main threat with this for now is going to be the rainfall expected for the Gulf Coast later this week into the weekend.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it depends on how long it stays over land, how it comes off over land. Again, we talked about the show, we were debating, there's actually a system that's looking like a 90% formation chance in 2 and 5 days in the Pacific that might enhance the possibility for this formation.
Yeah, it's a little interesting how those two systems might really merge together and then give the moisture needed for that rainfall over the weekend. Again, the main threat with this is the rainfall. We're not looking at any major impacts overall.
Maybe some rough seas. Obviously, you don't want to go out during a tropical depression or tropical storm. Again, not looking at anything catastrophic as of now. Again, things can change because the forecast is ever changing. So tune in every day to make sure you get your updated forecast on this.
Yeah, and it's also a good reminder that we're still in hurricane season. Remember, at this time, last year, we're still reeling from the impacts of Hurricane Michael, and so we still have about a half a month to a month left to go in hurricane season.
We have a month and a half, actually. November 30th is
Yeah.
the official end of hurricane season, but usually you don't get much after November 1st.
Yeah.
So it is still possible, but again, very unlikely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so again, with this storm, just really expect the rain chances to increase going to the weekend. We definitely do need the rain. Remember, we're in a drought situation, and the rainfall we've received over the last few days has really helped that.
Yeah, it's definitely helped that. And most of our rain during the dry season actually does come from tropical systems. So this tropical system that might bring some rain might help, is part of why we get some increased rainfall at this time.
Yeah, exactly. For now, we're going to send it back out to the wall and we'll take a look at a pretty interesting national picture, especially in the eastern two-thirds of the nation. You notice how there's some rain-cooled locations like in Atlanta and Tallahassee, which are at 69 and 73 degrees respectively. And then we have some chilly air up to the north with 42 in Bismarck, 46 in Minneapolis, and then some hotter temperatures down towards South Texas with 92 in San Antonio. Now with the dew points, you can really notice that we have a frontal system located in the central part of the country. Look at that with 69 in Dallas-Fort Worth, but once you go north of that frontal boundary, a dew point of 28 in Kansas City, so some much drier and some fall-like air behind this cold front, which you'll see in the surface map in just a few seconds. Ahead of that frontal boundary, we do have a marginal chance for a severe storm or two. So an isolated severe storm or two is expected ahead of the frontal boundary, and also with this lingering stalled out boundary that has just been sticking around the southeast over the last few days. Now, for your satellite and radar, you can notice the rain north of that stalled out frontal boundary, and we also have some scattered showers and thunderstorms ahead of the frontal system in the center part of the country, moving through St. Louis and as well as into the southern plains and mid-south as well. Now, out towards the northwest, we have another Pacific storm system moving in, and we're expecting multiple rounds of these storms to move into the Pacific Northwest over the next few days. So rainfall totals are really going to add up over the Cascades in the Pacific Northwest for the next few days. Up towards the Great Lakes region, you can notice we do have some rain wrapping around the low pressure system associated with the cold front in the center part of the country. Very light rain, and this should be moving off towards the north and the east as we head off into the overnight hours. Down towards the south, we have a very nice corridor of moisture, much needed moisture for a lot of the southeast, since a lot of these places haven't really seen any significant rainfall for the last 50 days, honestly, so this is much appreciated, and this is going to continue into the overnight hours and really move up towards the northeast and really become interesting as we go into late Wednesday into especially Thursday. You'll start to notice off towards the northwest, we do have the continuous line of storm systems giving them lots of rainfall, and then we also have this frontal boundary slowly moving off towards the east as we head towards your course of Wednesday, and then the stationary boundary really moves up north, and the cold front and the stationary boundary combine as we head off and towards late Wednesday into early Thursday, allowing a coastal low to develop in the mid-Atlantic. So we're expecting a lot of heavy rainfall for the northeast going into late Wednesday into early Thursday, as well as some high surf and some very windy conditions along the coastline. So be prepared for that if you're heading up towards the northeast over the next 2 days. But for tonight, notice the warmer air surging ahead of the cold front with some cooler air and more fall-like air filtering behind it, with 71 in Tallahassee and then 40s and 30s off toward the Midwest. And then tomorrow, the cooler air filters down more into the southeast with 64 in Memphis, 50 in Chicago. Still some warmer air ahead of the cold front down towards Tallahassee and Tampa with some scattered showers and thunderstorms ahead of the the cold front due to that. But then we'll also take a look at the northeast with that really strengthening coastal low. Now let's send it off to Sloan to take a look back into Tallahassee.
Thank you so much, Michael. We're going to take a look right now at the rainfall almanac. We've had about 0.4 of an inch today, which is above average. Something that we haven't seen here in Tallahassee for a while, rainfall above average, as September was our driest September on record. Monthly, we get about a little over 1.5 inches. So we're a little under that for the month right now, but we're going to expect more rain to fall. I know the National Weather Service was calling for at least 2 inches of rain in some places into the overnight hours. Taking a look though for the southeast and the Big Bend, this is what's causing our rainfall right now, is that stationary front that's in the southern portion of the southeast. There is some strong winds, heavy rainfall, and thunderstorms within this system. So make sure it's a good night to stay inside, watch a movie, and be sure to stay weather, where you can always follow us on Twitter and on Facebook, and we'll be sure to update you. Taking a look though at the Big Bend specifically, we see these lightning strikes begin to move across the I-10 corridor, moving past Tallahassee. So this is not the end of our showers for the evening. We have more on the way. Again, windshield wipers, headlights are a must in this type of weather, and even avoiding going outside is even better, as visibility is very poor, road conditions will be very wet. So make sure if you can stay inside, I would do that. Temperature-wise, a bit cooler, 73 degrees. Not a clear sky in sight except for Perry right there at 78. Somewhere I wish I was right now, but the rain is going to catch up to them pretty soon. And then we do have a lot of moisture in the air, causing our dew points to be higher, as Michael just said with the national forecast. 73 in Quincy, 71 in Bainbridge, and 70 degrees in Thomasville. And taking a look at that heat index, we're true to our temperatures, but it's still feeling muggy outside thanks to the moisture that is in the air. For tonight, there's really not a clear sky in sight for the Big Bend. Thunderstorms cannot be ruled out even in the early morning tomorrow. So going to class tomorrow, if you're an early morning workout person, I would keep an eye to the sky, maybe watch your local news station that's on early in the morning. 71 for Tallahassee tonight, 71 in Bainbridge, 69 in Quincy, 74 down there at Apalachicola, and then 70 in Valdosta. For tomorrow's forecast, still a bit warmer in the 80s, 83 in Tallahassee and 83 in St. Mark's, but Thomasville being the only city in the 70s at 79 degrees. And looking at our next 7 days, we're going to see when we have this dry air filter in, causing us to have some nice sunshine and clear skies. And heading into the weekend, we're going to have another system begin to move through and increase our rain chances Saturday into Sunday, and including the beginning of the work week. And now I'm going to pass things off to Dylan and take a look at Louisiana.
Thank you very much, Sloan. And as we do on the Thursday show, welcome to Louisiana. It's our state for this week. So they got some interesting weather with this cold front situated over there. And you see that low pressure system kind of on top of the state of Louisiana right now. You see the increased rainfall right there, and for much of the southeast. So they're starting to see the impacts of the second front, the more important, the cooler front, move through. And you zoom into their current temperatures right now, or the storm outlook, you do have the possibility of a marginal risk of storms kind of stretched along that first boundary with that first stationary front. You do see that's a level 1 of 5 on the storm outlook, so you do have the possibility of a severe thunderstorm or two, but not as widespread as these higher chances. And as we look at the current satellite and radar, you do see some stronger storms in the northern tier of Louisiana. You do have a nice band of storms right here with some enhanced lightning, and then even down into the southern part too, in the central, you do have some strong storms as well, but along the coast staying relatively clear for now. And the temperatures, in fact, showing some rain-cooled areas the farther you go north. You're not going to see the impacts of the cooling of the front today. You're going to start to see it tomorrow and even into tomorrow evening. Warmer conditions down by the coast, 86 degrees in New Orleans, still feeling like summer there. It's honestly feeling more uncomfortable there than it is here at 86 for them in New Orleans. Here in Tallahassee, seeing the 70s. Their dew points, though, are in fact still high with that increased moisture ahead of the front, seeing mid to upper 70s for most of the state. And then combine that with your current temperatures. Well, New Orleans feeling like 93 there, not the best conditions. Lafayette seeing 90 degrees as well behind the front, and where you have some cloud cover and some rainier conditions, seeing to the mid to lower 70s for them. And as you go into tonight in New Orleans, getting down to 60s. Now this is when you start getting into those fall conditions. You see some strong storms still possible, but again, not a bad night. And going into the next 3 days for New Orleans, you're going to see rain conditions stick into tomorrow. A bit of clearing and some cooling on Thursday with 73. And then as we get into Friday, another bit of rain as that system that Michael and I talked about and Sloan mentioned as well moves into the Gulf and starts to enhance rainfall. Again, in much of the states from Texas all the way to the Panhandle could be affected by this increased rainfall. So it's something to look into for the coming weekend, and you see that warming up as well. But now let's send it over to Michael, where we're seeing more showers and thunderstorms, right?
Yeah, and it's also pretty warm and humid as well. Yeah, that is always Florida. And you notice in the Panama City campus, had a lot of these thunderstorms and showers offshore the region. And so that has really caused a lot of cloud cover and a lot of rainfall as well. So you see some of the raindrops on the camera lens as well. For your satellite radar, again, we've been talking about this stalled out boundary situated in the southern portions of the Gulf states. And a lot of the rainfall has been north of that boundary, but we still had some showers and thunderstorms just south of the boundary moving onshore from the Gulf of Mexico. And we'll zoom in, you can see that a lot of these storms moving onshore through Panama City, Apalachicola, Alligator Point, moving into Tallahassee, Perry at this hour. Meanwhile, the peninsula has been mainly dry for the majority of today with just a few clouds and some showers up towards the north central part of Florida. Now, with the rain and the cloud cover, the northern part of the state is pretty cool at this time, 73 in Tallahassee, 77 in Jacksonville. Pensacola has been mainly dry for today, so they're at 83 degrees. But then as you go down towards the peninsula, temperatures are a little bit warmer with 85 in Tallahassee and 85 in Tampa and 86 in Fort Myers. Now, the dew points are very high across the panhandle of Florida, and that's because of that moisture coming out the Gulf of Mexico due to that stalled out frontal boundary, as well as the cold front situated back in the Mississippi River Valley. So look at that dew point in Pensacola at 78. Very humid out there. Meanwhile, down towards the peninsula, the dew points are a little bit lower, still a little bit muggy out there, though. 66 in Gainesville and 66 in Tampa. So the heat index in Pensacola, because of that very high dew point, much higher compared to air temperature at 93 degrees. Meanwhile, we have some rain-cooled heat indices in Tallahassee and Jacksonville, and then down towards the peninsula, a little bit warmer compared to your air temperature, but not too warm to your air temperature. Now, for the next 24 hours, the stationary boundary moves up to the north, so the shower and thunderstorm activity becomes more scattered in nature over the panhandle. But then as we move throughout the course of your Wednesday into early Thursday, the frontal boundary back toward the Mississippi River Valley starts to move through the state of Florida. So we might have some scattered showers and thunderstorms ahead of that for the panhandle and the peninsula of Florida. But once that frontal boundary moves through, the clouds will clear and much cooler air, some of the coolest air of the season ever since April, will arrive, especially for the panhandle of Florida. Now, for tonight's forecast, you can notice how temperatures are mainly in the 70s with a lot of cloud cover and that rain being situated in the panhandle and the north central part of the state. So 71 in Tallahassee, 72 in Gainesville, a little bit warmer down towards the peninsula of the state. And then for tomorrow, the cooler air starts to filter in for the panhandle. Still a warm and muggy day, though, for the peninsula of Florida with 86 in Tampa, 84 in Gainesville. With those scattered showers and thunderstorms, might be a little bit drier down towards South Florida with 91 down towards West Palm Beach. Let's send it now to the final local forecast with Hayden. And how is it looking outside in Tallahassee, Hayden?
It's pretty rainy out there. A lot of thunderstorms associated with that stationary front, and it's definitely not the best weather to be having right now. But as we talked about earlier, we were in a drought, so this is a very good situation. Oh, sorry, I fixed some graphics there. So looking out into tomorrow's forecast after we get past it. Sorry about that. All right, and so looking out kind of over Doak Stadium, you can really see those dark skies and those thunderstorms coming in from the west. And this will continue to be the theme out through the evening. So bring the umbrella with you. Expect some heavy rain and some embedded thunderstorms. So if you hear thunder, head indoors. Other than that, we have pretty light winds, and these thunderstorms will start to subside as we go through the evening. And so looking out into our satellite area, you can see that stationary front draped over Tallahassee, really bringing in that moisture, bringing that lift into the atmosphere. And then in addition to that, we have a cold front coming in through tomorrow. And this low pressure will strengthen as it heads out into the northeast. and this will drag a cold front into our area, bringing some much needed colder air in, and that will also bring some chance of thunderstorms. But that's about tomorrow. Let's focus in on right now. And so right now you can really see some heavy thunderstorms isolating over Alligator Point in Apalachicola. So if you're down there, make sure to drive slowly. And then in addition to, you can really see some heavy thunderstorms over Cypress and Funiac Springs. So this is coming eastward across the I-10 corridor. So just keep that in mind. We will have additional thunderstorms, perhaps some severe, probably not likely. So just keep that in mind. And then additionally, across Georgia, you will see some heavier thunderstorms as that cuts across into Thomas County and Grady County. And so also into Valdosta, you will expect to see some thunderstorms too. So going into tonight's, the forecast right now, it is 73 degrees. And so it's a rain-cooled air, but it's still quite muggy out. It doesn't really feel like that crisp air that we're needed. And then to Georgia, it's a little bit warmer at 77. And Apalachicola, it is a little bit warmer at 75, and Perry at 77, really feeling that influence of that Gulf air. And so it is a little bit warmer. And then this kind of reflects on it too. Tallahassee, our dew point is 71, Quincy 73. And so you're really feeling that humidity in the air, and that's why it's raining, all that saturation. And so it is so very sticky out there. And so it's really uncomfortable, but it will bring in some cooler air as that cold front comes in. And so going through the evening, expect these thunderstorms to end into the day, and it will clear off into tomorrow for thunderstorms coming through the afternoon on that cold front. So to tonight's forecast, 71 heavy thunderstorms. Expect that to end into the night. And then to our day planner, once again, these thunderstorms will persist, so bring that umbrella. And so out into that 7-day, continue to expect some thunderstorms Wednesday and some cooler air as we head lows into the 50s and we warm up into the work week into the lower to upper 70s. All right, let's bring it back off to the desk to cover.
Thanks
so much, Hayden. Great job on your first show for FSU Weather tonight. If you're at home, let's all give Hayden a round of applause. That was great.
Yep, definitely. And you know what else is great? The temperatures we're going to see on Thursday and Friday. Great way to end the work week.
The rain's great too. I'm not complaining. We haven't seen it in a while. As long as I don't get stuck on it when I walk home, I'll be okay. But that doesn't seem to be my luck right now.
Exactly, and it's good for the farmers' crops rather than our crops, as I've said erroneously, because I don't own any crops. But the farmers definitely need this rain.
Well, remember we learned that was great for the peanuts because you need the rainwater to pull the peanuts out of the ground.
Exactly.
So this is a great sign for farmers in the Big Bend region and even in the southeast. But look at Thursday, 76 degrees.
I hate to say this, but I think it's time to pull out the jacket for those 2 days.
That's because you're from South Florida.
Exactly.
You always think it's super cold. You think 76 degrees is 36 degrees, and that is not the case.
The temperature on Thursday and Friday might be the same temperature it is in the building, for a matter of fact. And we've been cold here in the building, but that's comparative to the 86 that it is outside.
If you have morning classes in Love towards the end of the work week, bring a blanket, bring a sweatshirt. It is, wasn't it 63 degrees in our classroom the other day?
It legitimately said 63 degrees. It was that cold. I mean, it is cold in the buildings, and it will be cold outside on Thursday and Friday.
I'm a little sad that these cool temperatures don't last Monday and Tuesday. So if you're gonna go like pumpkin picking this weekend because it feels nice outside, your pumpkins might rot, and that's not a great smell for you, and it's gonna cause a bug issue. But be sure to follow us on Twitter at FSU Weather.
Don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU Weather. You posted an update there just before the show.
And be sure to watch us live on YouTube if you are right now. Thank you so much. You can watch all of our previous tapes there too.
And don't forget to follow us on the Instagram. Sloan, you've been taking charge of that and posting some great pictures of all of us here.
I would love to see pictures from viewers to send in, but for everybody here, I'm student meteorologist Sloan Haynes.
And I'm student meteorologist Dylan Leith. Have a great night, folks.